right, welcome back to NTA number 16.
16.
A lot to talk about today.
Today's a ceremonious one, even though I don't think either one of us is a very ceremonious individual. Kimberli Weeks is an official graduate of the Training Without Conflict Academy.
Something we could skip this part.
I knew it, which is why I was like, I'm going to make a really abridged, and I'm not going to make you respond to anything. But
Excellent.
yeah,
Thank you.
K-Dog, big shout out to K-Dog. K-Dog's a big asset to TWC, and I mean also the broader balance training cause. None of that has changed or updated. It's just that now she can say, get fucked, I'm certified, bitch, if she needs to.
Right.
But yeah, very cool. Absolutely love to see it. And we will cross paths at school one day, I'm sure, which is very based.
Yeah.
But we also have a lot of dog training stuff to talk about. It also should be mentioned. We can go into it as much or as little as Kim wants to. My career has been ended for like the 6th or 7th time at this point.
Yep.
I don't know what it is. It looks like I'm gonna make it out of another one miraculously. Maybe next time, homies. But I actually did just go on another show. So today it released this morning, but by the time, so the show's called Doggy Stoic. The dude's name's Andrew, but I went on there because it's like, obviously I want to have an avenue to spurg out about this like stupid community shit, so that on our show we could talk about like actual dog training. So if you want to get like a dedicated
fatigue,
however long, like I take old man Uncle Bobby and I take him behind the shed and I end it. It's really bad. Denise Fenzi catches some bullets. Yeah, it's extremely funny. Old Bobby got put down, unfortunately. He was terminal. It's so funny. I was like, he sent me some of the clips ahead of time and I was like, holy shit, dude. In the moment I was just like having a good time, but I was like, this is fucking vicious. But it's all totally accurate. Like, that guy is truly like stupid, awful, really bad to dogs, really bad to people, and just like a piece of shit. But like, we can, and like, just briefly, the delusions of grandeur, a signal of a lol cow. Remember we talked about last time, like, this old slop content creator thinking that just on a whim he can walk onto his porch and from across the country end someone's career. Someone that's a better dog trainer than him. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, what do you think? Like, I woke up the next day and I trained dogs. Like, I know that that's not familiar to you, but that will continue to happen.
People are sick of cancel culture at this point. Like, social punishment needs to be more nuanced in 2026.
Well, yeah, you would think, especially for like a based alpha male, I say what I want old guy turning into a sniveling blue-haired screecher, an algorithm piggy at the trough. He's just a piece of shit. And I would say it's like I said on the other show, and then we'll move on because there's so much.
Yeah.
There's so many dogs to train. I just, for anybody that has any confusion about Cabral as a trainer, man, I'm telling you, he doesn't post much client stuff anymore, and I understand why. There's a little bit of a clapback feeding frenzy that was going on where people were sharing clips of his training and like we were reposting stuff. And this guy, like, we talked about it a little bit, like, genuinely just takes untrained young dogs out into public and manhandles them.
Yeah.
Incoherently, like, inconsistently, incoherently, non-contingently, and teaches people to do that. Just smokes these dogs. And that is going to come up in a topic about, you had a topic, because of course, just on time, the day after my career's ended, I posted a video where I'm punishing a dog. Dylan just does everything for positive optics to try to get people to like him. I'm the only balance trainer showing effective punishment. But the contrast between the proper execution of punishment and like what the goal is and what you're trying to achieve and what you want the dog to think and feel and the result to be versus Robert Cabral, who is like a 70s, 80s yank and crank retard that he might as well be consulting a magic 8 ball moment to moment, whether or not I should just crucify this young dog that's just like at a park having a good time. But go to his YouTube channel. I'm gonna plug my mentor, Robert Cabral. Go to his YouTube channel, especially the aggressive dogs playlist. Oh my god, dude, it's so bad. It's so fucking bad. And try to just like if you need to act like you don't know who the trainer is, and if you saw someone doing that to dogs, like I'd just be like, what's your reaction? But we can move on unless it becomes relevant to talk about like I really do. I got much of the autism out of my system on the other show. But should it be relevant and come up, we can obviously cover anything.
I think the only thing I kind of want to highlight about that is that people want to see a dog stay happy when they're getting corrected. And like that might be true in certain negative reinforcement circumstances. Like I might not want to change the dog's emotion, but for punishment, like for sure I want the dog to look a little like for a second. And it's weird. It's weird to me that people prefer a dog getting yanked around by the neck, but having its ears stay up because nothing actually like truly effective happened. Even if the rest of the training session wasn't as shit as it is, but like even that little piece, if a trainer says they're intending to do punishment and the dog's face doesn't change.
Yeah.
After they fucking crap the dog's neck. And then go, oh, but this trainer gave a little pop and the dog looked mortified or raised her voice, whatever it was.
Let's be very specific about a 2-finger swat on the nose.
Yep. Like that. And the dog looked sad.
Yeah.
But definitely was not physically damaging.
Right.
And for sure was not physically damaging. That is appalling to people. And it's like, it's just, I don't know, it's the same fucking soapbox I've been on for a while now of like, why are we complete, sort of generalized, any like negative spectrum emotion is just bad, like on the face, like this value judgment of any negative emotion is automatically bad for the dog's welfare. And like, that's just really false.
So can I cut in?
And humans and dogs. Yeah, go ahead.
So one thing, your audio at the end of some of your sentences starts to mute a little bit. But what's especially funny, like there's a bunch of things that are funny about this. Cabral is a perfect example because he unfortunately awakened the trolling giant, but also he's like the perfect awful dog trainer where the hypocrisy and the horrible handling and treatment of the dogs just intersects. Because a guy like him, I think
too, like I also want to dissect why his training is bad, because I think like a lot of people will look at that and not get it. And like, yes, we're picking on Robert, but like this is the majority of what is taught as proper balance training. Like it's infected the sports stuff too, is like it became this obsession with like, oh, good emotions gets you points. And it's like, yes, the end product needs to be good emotions, but that doesn't mean that the dog can never look a little bit pressured or stressed or whatever in the actual training, as long as it's resolved eventually.
Well, like, I would also
eventually after the dog looks sad in the punishment event, he learns to avoid what it was that got him punished, and therefore he never looks sad again. Do you know what I mean? Like that has gotten, it's been, the nuance has been lost, right? Where people are like, oh, the end product should look like a happy dog, and then they avoid the dog ever looking sad. It's the same as like people are
Mhm.
like, oh, the end product is that we're healing with the dog in this very fancy way. And so they demand that from the get-go. And it's like, dude, your dog's like, you've got this 4-month-old puppy that you're expecting it to have the drive and power and flash of this 5-year-old dog that has spent its life developing all of these skills. And it's just not like, the pathway isn't linear. And people get really, really stuck on, I need to paint this picture to look like this end goal, but not actually taking the pathway
Mhm.
that they need to go through to get there. Like the process does not look like the end picture
Right.
in many, many ways. And it's the same, like that's what has happened to balance training, is this weird reactionary thing to like, oh, we never want the dogs to look stressed, because somehow that became a false premise.
Yeah.
And now that we can never have the dogs look stressed, we can't actually effectively communicate to them like, hey, I need you to stop. And in order for that to happen, in order for us to effectively communicate to them, they're probably going to look a little bit sad for like 5 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. That's actually somewhat necessary in a sense. Like they should actually have a change in their attentional system. Like there should be a shift. That's the whole point. So to say, oh, this is a good correction because the dog didn't change, is just like, doesn't match the goal. Anyway, I don't know if any of that made sense, but what were you gonna
No,
say?
it did. And like, are we going to spend all episode on this? We may actually have to,
No,
because
I
there's
kind
just
of
too
hate it.
much. No, but
Yeah,
there is too much though, Kim.
I
Like
already want to like start over and cut it.
there's
I know.
so much. No, 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 no. Like people actually
I'm
don't
so
know.
depressing.
People don't know.
No,
Like they
no,
don't
no,
know.
they don't. They don't. Yeah.
So like a guy like Robert, he gets to get away with smashing and manhandling dogs because the particular dog that he's doing one session with is resilient enough to take what's effectively, I mean, we can split hairs and talk definitions. I would consider abuse requires some level of non-contingency because it's inherently unfair. He's getting closer to abuse than training with how he's treating these dogs. But because he's handling these dogs that are resilient enough to just take it and keep moving forward, like clearly the dogs want nothing to do with him. They want to get away from him and do anything else. But where do you think the myth comes that balance training is bad for weaker dogs? Because of like him. Because of people like him that take a resilient German Shepherd and go out and beat the shit out of him, and that dog in one session, eventually what that dog is likely going to do is turn around and go after this asshole.
Yes, to turn off the pressure, because it's the only thing that works.
Because he deserves it. Because he's saying, dude, you got to stop doing. You like anytime
Yeah,
I go
yeah.
outside with you and I try to do fun things, you just beat the shit out of me, and I have no way of predicting it. So I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you back, dipshit. And then Robert and all these elk. Oh, the look, it's a dominance handle a redirection. Well, and it's actually that's what you did to him, man, and you deserve worse than what he's gonna give you. But dogs get broken. Weaker dogs get broken. Dogs with less resilience get broken. So you get these wives' tales about prong collars and e-collars being bad for weaker dogs. It's actually just a matter of poorly executed aversives by people with absolutely no understanding of what the goals and what the emotional state and all of these things should be.
Correct. Because that's the flip side. As much as I was like, oh, contingent punishment should create a little bit of discomfort in the dog.
Mm-hmm.
The same time, non-contingent, and then that should create discomfort in the dog, and then it should be able to be resolved. Like there is that, then the horse touches the electric fence and it goes, whoops, don't touch that, but then it'll walk right up to it and eat the blade of grass that's like just on the right side of the fence. And there's no fallout, there's no residual bad emotion.
Right.
But non-contingent aversives, you cannot, staying in that paradigm, you cannot recover the dog's bad emotions. Like there
Right.
is no
safety.
recourse for that.
There's no safety.
Like that, like the problem is not the bad emotion. The problem is the cause of the bad emotion is non-contingent and unresolvable and unavoidable. Like that is where bad emotions are bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Now,
it's not just the fact that the dog got sad. Yeah, go ahead.
the irony is that these types of guys, they have the parachute of saying, well, sometimes dogs need to feel bad. But in the event that they're making a dog feel bad, it's not fair. And it's not in
Correct.
the pursuit of anything. It's because they're doing horrible things to a dog that just can't take it anymore. And they need to be able to fall back on, oh, well, I'm a balanced trainer. Well, you're an evil person. So there's a serious emotional distortion around this subject because there's insane ego at play, obviously. But if we want to get into the actual, like, the behavior involved and the training, a guy like Robert, when he steps out into the field, he has no idea what the goal is. How could he ever be clear to the dog when he himself has no idea? Am I trying to create or stop a behavior? What are the expectations? What's the criteria here? Is the aversive fitting the situation? Is the dog actually having a constructive response and he's moment to moment improving? Because what ends up happening in a lot of Robert's videos and when you see people handle dogs like this, the dogs do end up getting exhausted. So they just like stop doing anything.
They stop trying.
Because they're just like getting slammed and getting slammed and getting slammed. And they're just like
people
dude,
talk about learned helplessness as like punishment creating learned helplessness or like that sort of thing. Like this creates helplessness.
Yeah. And it's oh well, I work with really hard dogs, so I got to do that. Hey, I don't know. I know Robert needs to hear this. So, I mean, there's probably a lot of people. None of you guys listening need to hear this, but dealing with a challenging dog is not an excuse to be evil. So that's the end of it. That's the end of the. There's nothing else to say on that particular angle. As someone that occasionally deals with relatively challenging dogs, it doesn't occur to me to take them out and start destroying them. There's another branch to go through here, to walk down here. And that is the behavior of the handler in the equation and the way that it looks to people. So it's just easy pickings because this guy is so stupid and he just does all of the things that I have to keep going back to him. And it's also because I was doing some opposition research, but clearly a very Cabralian thing to do is you go out and you crush the dog with no idea of what's going to happen and why. And then you'd record a voiceover later with hindsight, like coming up with explanations as to you had no fucking clue. You can tell other people are saying it too. It looks like he's going out there and winging it. But one of the things that he repeatedly says, and he writes in his captions, notice while I'm tearing this dog's head off incoherently that I'm not acting upset.
That's so like that.
Isn't that crazy?
That to me is
I knew you were going to get a big exhale out of that one. It's so bad.
Like what happened to us? Like what happened to humans that
I don't know.
Uncoupled
emotional
experience from physical reality? It is a false display to the like. I don't know. I don't know. Like that doesn't make any sense to any social being ever.
I
can't even articulate this well because it's so like on the face, just incorrect
and gross. It's gross.
Yeah.
It's not incorrect.
It feels weird.
It's not incorrect like the sky's yellow. It's like incorrect in a really grotesque, perverted, distorted, just way, unnatural way.
Yeah, just out of touch. Yeah, unnatural. It's
So you can contrast.
How did we get here? I
don't know. And this can all be resolved with one way. We can just look at dogs, and I don't want to go down this again, but I don't defend myself. I show dogs. So I'm better than Robert Cabral at training dogs. It's not close. And I can tell you why, but who cares? Just go look at the dogs. It's the end of it. But there are intricacies and interesting things going on in the training, in the behavior. Being able to draw a contrast between things that are going well versus things that are totally insane is important. So it's worth talking about. Um, so to get off of
Explain without defending.
right, for sure. I have nothing like with a freak like that old man. There's nothing to defend. Like he's a loser. He's worthless. He's a good little bitch online freak that also doesn't understand the internet, which is just like crazy work. But when you look at what the goal should be and the actual heart of Lima, which I subscribe to, which I could have tattooed on my heart, which is hilarious because you hear me ripping people that call themselves Lima trainers. Being the least invasive and the most minimally aversive. How can we pursue that? You know, it should be a moral good to try to use the least amount of physical aversive force when you're training dogs. And we get that wrong. You know, you get that wrong and you can look back and be like, I didn't do enough or I did too much. You make reads in the situation, but just methodologically, what are you trying to accomplish when, again, people, they cross wires. They don't know in this moment, am I trying to tell the dog to stop doing something or am I trying to tell him to do something? And that causes a whole host of issues, but we don't need to do that. So I posted a video, it's a couple of videos. I posted it twice. And I'm sorry if I appear low energy. I'm incredibly tired today. I'm sure I'll get fired up.
Yeah, I'm like,
Um,
oh, yeah.
it's
I'm
it
like
is
already
it is
depressed. I like wanted to talk about dog training, and I'm just like, fuck, I hate this. I hate that
yeah,
we start this
yeah.
podcast every time. I'm like such a fucking depressing.
Well, it's a really it's interesting.
Oh,
It should be noted too, and I talked about it on that other show, so we don't have to go on it forever. But um, it would be super easy to just be like off leash freedom play guys all the time. That is extremely crucial. I am religiously devoted, on board all day. It's not enough. Someone needs to be able to talk and do the hard things and show the hard things. That's just the nature of it. So I swatted a dog on the nose um the day after that my career ended, which was like immaculate timing. Scouts cleaning Harrison. Um so it I do think it's based that's like, hey Dylan, everyone hates you right now and they're treating you like you're on death row. And I'm like, here's a video of me swatting a dog on the nose and him looking really sad. Get fucked. But it is one of the best videos I've ever put out, in my opinion, in terms of beautiful execution, reaction from the dog, the goal, but also as a dog behavior and training literacy test. That's the least important part of it. But part of me, when I'm clicking post on that, is I want people to think. I really, really want people to think really hard about what the nature of reality is and what we're trying to do for these dogs. So the thought, and you brought this up first, you DM'd me, you were like, we need to talk about this particular thing on the show. People are so mortified of a dog having the correct response to punishment that they would prefer physical aversives that are more intense to the tune of 10 times. Should the dog repeatedly tank it in a state of confusion and frenzy? They like that. They like seeing a playful German Shepherd try to run around a park and 35 years of experience Robert Cabral takes his fucking head off. They want to see that. They like that. It's like, brutal, a brutal dog, tough dog. We need to be really super hard. Then you see a human aggression case, this guy here, who his owners have been afraid of for his whole life. think he's like 5 or 6 years old now. Came off the ground and bit a guy on the nose at like a pool one time. He almost tore the end of an old lady's finger off in their backyard. He mistook the owner's dad for a yard worker and attacked them. Which everyone ended up being okay, but I mean, surviving, but got bit pretty bad, but it's funny. The story's funny, and it's actually relevant to how I'm going to approach his aggression the next time, because I did a socialization session that was really interesting, which is where I had the opportunity to punish him biting me, and I do want to go into that too. But this by all honest measure, when you compare the severity and the stakes, this is a serious situation, right? This is not me having a goofy, funny, rambunctious young dog at a park that just wants to go do stuff, and me saying to his owner, you see this, if you let this go, so we need to crush him. No, this is a serious situation. Now, ego segment, I have a tendency of making extremely serious situations look really casual because I'm really good at this and I care. But the part of it that is important, that I think is super beneficial, is how casual and personal things are, right? So there are people that are having to grapple with this thought of, I feel uncomfortable about Dylan taking 2 fingers and swatting that dog on the nose twice. The dog looking sad, and in a span of maybe a 5-second duration goes back to playing at the same intensity level, if not happier, by the way, if you watch the full clip. There's less than zero fallout. It's like he gets better after the punishment because he lets it go. Okay, don't do that. So let's focus on good things, right? People are having to grapple with the fact that somewhere in their conscience, they're wondering, why didn't he stand up, move across the room, turn his back, and light the e-collar on? And I feel fortunate to be the one in this situation to pose that question to people. Because at some level, they can't explain why they would prefer that. Even though logically they know it would be way more physically harmful and aversive to the dog. And we would say it would also be incredibly...
By physically harmful, I just, not to be semantic, but like the e-collar itself is not doing any damage.
No. No, the physical pain of it. Yeah.
The level of intensity,
correct.
Yes, is
correct. Yeah.
higher.
That's a very important distinction. I'm not saying that should I had gone the wrong way and stood up across the room and, dispassionately muttered no and started tapping. I'm not saying that I would damage the dog physically, but the experience overall would be much more physically uncomfortable.
Much more
for the dog.
aversive. Yes.
Much more aversive and much less effective. Meaning we're going to have to do this again and again and again. And there's not going to be clarity. So there, superstitious behavior. The guy that's punishing me isn't trustworthy. I can't fall back on him to be reassured that I'm doing the right
pile
things.
Of bad emotions.
It's the people that believe they are the most humane are causing the most damage and are causing the most destructive, awful lies and myths to be spread.
Mm-hmm. And I want to go back to too. I think people don't realize when they see neuroticism that that's actually not. It gets confused for a happy dog.
Yeah.
Like our society has said like, oh, tail wagging, happy dog, like just oversimplified, which, like everyone has to start somewhere, but like we've made these blanket statements about what a happy dog looks like. And a calm, chill dog looks sad to most people, like most lay people. If you show them like a dog is just like, even my dogs right now, like, one of them just like got up and moved from the couch to his other like favorite spot where he sleeps. And he was like head down, tail down, like looking mopey, but like he just is relaxed and wants to find a more comfortable spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like if I clipped that, it would look like I just fucking tried to drown him or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he looks miserable to a lay person. but people see, like I talked about it on the last podcast, this golden retriever puppy who's just like fucking frenetic energy 24/7. Like she's fine now, but like had gotten sort of to this strung out sort of point because of not in that case of verses, but like in her case, sort of lack of fulfillment and not just like not being able to predict and understand her environment in general. Again, not a bad dog owner, but just like it, like it ends up spinning up into this thing that the owner then looks at it as, oh, my puppy's actually just really pushy and dominant and like
Hmm.
constantly trying to get her way. And it's like, no, actually, this puppy is really, really confused
Right.
and has all of this energy that she doesn't know where it belongs or what to do with it or how to regulate. And people see that, like they see a dog get probably like, e-collar's kind of the best example of it because typically dogs do sort of interpret that a little bit more. It sort of creates energy rather than like dispels energy. And they see a dog that like just got a high level correction and like, for example, runs back super fast on a recall. So like, let's say someone tried to punish, not like chasing a squirrel, right? And they're like, oh, I'm punishing chasing a squirrel. They light the dog up on 100. Dog comes fucking flying back. And they're like, oh, sweet. That was a good correction because my dog looked happy
Yeah.
when he came back. Like, and in fact, you just put a ton of fucking juice on the recall. So like you might have nicely negatively reinforced your recall, but you didn't do
Possibly.
what you thought you were doing.
Right.
And like at best, you negatively reinforced your recall to a high degree contingently, which is fine. Worse, your dog got a really, really high level aversive non-contingently and went, I need to safety seek to mother. And that looks like happy
Yeah.
because they're probably going to be doing some appeasement stuff and like wagging their tail and a lot of like, again, sort of frenetic energy. But if you know what you're looking at, you can see that that dog's stressed. And society has sort of gotten confused about what be not even a happy, like that's sort of the wrong word, like what a content and sound dog looks like, and gotten it confused with a bit of a neurotic, constantly appeasing, that sort of energy is what people think of as happy. Like people, if their dog doesn't greet them like that when they walk in the door, they're a little bit sad. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they're like, oh, my dog doesn't like me. And it's
Well,
like
here.
it's like I'm not picking on like dogs greeting at the door, but like, do you know what I mean? Like that kind of
Yeah.
energy, people want to see that sort of constantly. And
So
it's not a good spot for a dog to be stuck in. Yeah, go ahead.
very brief Alex Jones segment.
Yeah.
I don't want to put them chemicals in the water, turn the freaking frogs. Who benefits from this delusion and lie? Follow the money. The trainers that are doing this to the dogs benefit. And what's crazy, I mean, it's all crazy. You had talked about like the body language of your dog just laying down, right? Like he's just choosing just to lay down. If you took a conventional like incoherent compulsion balanced method to try to address like a dog reaction, where you put the dog on the place board and he looks at the dog across the room and you don't raise your voice or anything, so it's okay. You click and hold the stim button until the dog is like, oh my God, I can just never look at that or look in that direction ever again. And the dog eventually just opts out of trying to do anything. And people will be like, look, I just made him calm around a dog, so it's good. And
Yeah, people don't see the difference between a shutdown dog and a calm dog.
right. And the goal, it's just, there's no clear goal. In this session, we're going to make this dog miserable and convince him potentially of like some weird superstitious associations, that when you're in this facility and there's a dog walking around over there, you better have your fucking head down. Is that likely to be clear to a dog about an overall general reactivity issue? Is that going to answer any real questions? Is that fair to him? Is that likely to be least invasive,
Again, you're
minimally
just keeping his
aversive?
nervous system just fucking wound like
Right.
that. That I think is the wildest thing to me, is not being able to sort of see that you're
Right.
creating. That energy has to go somewhere. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? And it's like people just think they can get rid of it.
Right.
Like that just doesn't make sense to me. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Anyway,
and this isn't even to say the issue of habituation. So when one of us, someone that's not a freak, gets one of these dogs that's been crucified by these psychos, the dogs have learned that when I get blasted on this thing, I keep going much of the time. I can just eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. And now we're in an arms race and the dog's getting tapped on a 65 out of 100 for looking at a dog across the street. And it's like, now we have to untangle that.
yes. And I think like what I'm trying to explain too is like that dog that looks like he is habituated, of course, right? But like it's not that those electric shocks are doing nothing. It's that he is eating them, and that is still affecting, it is making his behavior worse.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's again, like I was trying to say this on, I forget which podcast it was, but like the fact that people think that this is just a net zero and it is actually a negative. How to explain that? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? That like the energy has to go somewhere, but like I don't know how to fucking like make that concrete. But
No,
like the dog is eating that, but like also thinking that the way to solve it is to continue to just like spaz out frenetically. Like I don't
right.
know. I don't know.
You're creating, it's consistently reinforcing this idea to the dog. And like in a pet dog context, it's particularly vile because it warps their perception of what it means to be out on the street walking with mom or going out with the trainer to the park. It's like I have to prepare to grit my teeth and march through all of this garbage with no clear goal in mind. And I'm not even convinced. Like I just know that there are some things that seem to get me shocked less sometimes, depending on the weather or whatever the fuck. But
It's this low grade stress that's a constant, and like you can
yeah,
see it.
but it also too, it's there. The threat is there when the shock or the pop is not happening. That's kind of what I was trying to get at, is that
Yes,
it
yes,
looms. It's a
yes.
looming shadow over the dog's existence. Of like, I just, in the back of my mind, I know that something could come for no fucking distinguishable reason, and I'm supposed to just bear down and just tank it, 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 and it's just like, what do you think that does, man? And I do. It's impossible to not invoke the dogs. Like, is it a coincidence that my dogs look the way that they do? Man, they're bouncing around. They're like the worst dogs that I can find are bouncing around. It's because of clarity, dude. It's because of trust and clarity. So, yeah, the pod has turned into a cemetery. Um, though things with training are going so extremely well.
Yes, let's get so we got on that because contingent like so Breeze, the setup is
Yeah,
Breeze, and him
yeah,
biting you. So yeah,
yeah.
like let's go back to
This is so fucking cool. This shit's so fucking
yeah.
cool. Um, so the value, we've talked about the value of recording your training, even if you don't intend on posting everything or anything at all. So Breeze, Captain Dipshit here. Everyone here is just dead. I don't know if you can see the couches. The couch is in a fucking state right now. So Breeze is with me. He's got his package delivery vehicle, Reactivity, and talked about that a bit last time, but the big thing for the owners is like, like we can't have people over to the house because you'll just like tear them, and it's really scary. So they just stopped having guests over, and he can't meet people. Um, so this is the place where trainers really, I think, need to start doing more specific work to the guest coming into the house type training. Like we really need to fucking. It's still an area where people are just afraid to go. But it's my comfort zone. It's where I love doing those setups. So I've got Breezy Beans. And there's going to be a video coming out on my Patreon probably tomorrow. So by the time this drops, this video will already be out. So I can give spoilers and stuff. And I'll go into detail. But I had my buddy Sandy, shout out, she's listening to this, Titans owner. I had her come over and just kind of appear at the sliding glass door and just walk through. And like come in, like, oh, a friend's over and stuff. And he does some nipping on the hands. She's wearing gloves and all that. But there was a bite that was punished very famously by me swatting the dog on the nose. I'm gonna go with open hand slap where I wound up and fucking back to Timbuktu and cracked it. Like, dude, people are going nuts. Well, like some people are going nuts about a muzzle tap with 2 fingers. But it wasn't over biting Sandy, it was over biting me, which is extremely fucking interesting. And there's a lot going on too in terms of he bit me relatively lightly. It ended up hitting a lot of my sleeve. Had it hit bare skin, it could have broken skin a little. It wasn't like a horrible bite. But what's funny
It was
is
more like him wanting to correct you. Was
talking
like
back,
the vibe I got.
talking back.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
what the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
Like what the
Yeah.
fuck? And like that's totally off limits. You cannot do that. Had that bet on Sandy, I wouldn't have acted because this is new territory introducing people in this context. But with me, no, dude, there is no excuse. Like that's totally not allowed, right? So in the moment, I knew it was some sort of, like you said, him trying to correct me. It felt like a back talk, like, type of thing. So I'm like, this is a very, very appropriate punishment. And it's in the context of play, and the reconciliation and the recovery were just
A given.
beautiful. Like so gorgeous. And like that's kind of what I meant by, like, in a way, the dog training literacy. It's like if you are really stupid, you're mortified by what you saw. If you understand what you saw, it's gorgeous. Like it is so elemental and honest and clear, and just a moment between 2 really good friends that everyone understands who they are, what we're supposed to be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, and just an instant carry on with our lives, right? And he played better. Like, I'm going to be posting the full thing, but on my Facebook I posted like a 3-minute clip of it, and he's playing like a savage and having a great time with me. And so watching the footage back was like, what was it about that made him do that? And I realized he was pissed at the prospect of me violating the sanctity of our sacred game by introducing a new person. No, I play with you. I'm not playing with this loser. I play with you. Fuck that. He nips me. The fuck. And it's so funny because, like, in those moments of bad behaviors, you can actually like fall in love with the dogs more.
Yeah. Yep.
I realized that, and I was like, dude, this is like one of my favorite dogs of all time. The amount of
He has a
personality, and
personality.
like,
Yeah.
and like he did it, to be clear, because he just wants to be with me and do stuff with me. And like, of course, there's a level of him not trusting other humans, and that's an issue that happens when you isolate aggression cases. They forget. how to interact with the people. And that's one of my jobs, is to figure out strategies to assuage that. But in that moment, it's like, he was like, why did you invite him over to play basketball? He sucks. That guy's a loser. And I go, shut the fuck up, dude. We play with other people. Get over yourself. And he goes, fine. And we go back. We play. But that, I wouldn't have had so much clarity on that had I not recorded it and watched it back. I always would have had like some like not suspicion, but wonder, like what exactly happened. You know what I mean? And you can't be 100% sure, but that like, I'm quite confident knowing him, and how he reacted, and like the recovery and his behavior after the fact, because we ended up having like an amazing socialization outing, him playing with Sandy, her doing obedience with him, petting, like it was fucking awesome, which is sort of like the information that I've withheld so far, because I'm allowing people to say things like, he's never gonna want to, and he's gonna, and it's just like, I literally know what happened for real, and I have it on tape. But I don't have anything to prove to bad people. I want them to have to, I want people to have to think, and I want bad people to expose themselves, which seems to be happening routinely lately. Um, but the punishment, and like just the clarity, and man, I got one comment that it was like, this dog has no idea what's going on. This is one of the most confusing things I've ever seen. And I'm like, dude, I actually just cannot help you. This is one of the most clear and cut, fair punishments I've given to an aggression case ever. Like, and by the way, extremely light-handed, which I don't brag about, because I think it's gay to brag about that. Like, I don't like that. That should be our goal. All of our goals is to try to be as light-handed as possible. So I don't think that's like a flex. And oftentimes we see too much people bragging about how light-handed they can be to get the job done, when they're not getting the job done. So it's become like this false virtue signal at the expense of the dogs, at the expense of clarity. So I don't like to talk about that, but it is nice that I know that.
Also, side note, like the
Please.
more clear and contingent you are, and the more foundational pieces you have in place, the less intensity actually matters.
100%.
It's more about
no
the
doubt.
performance of the event. Yeah.
Yes, and into the
Like
dark.
the aversive is so arbitrary.
It's so arbitrary, and it's
people don't
what everyone
understand. They
thinks
get
about.
so stuck on it.
It's what everybody is so obsessed.
Yes.
They're like,
yeah.
I get people going like, why didn't you stand up and pop the leash? I'm like, dude, well, I mean, there are specific reasons why. I do think that the muzzle tap, for some dogs, is actually
Very personal.
Yeah, like, and I want it. Like, that's not a glitch. That's a feature.
It's not a bad thing. Yes.
That's what I want. But I could have had that be an electric collar event. Yeah, I could have made that happen. I could have made it a flat collar pop event. Yeah, that's fine. These details just don't, like, you're just, it's just so, I don't want to call it pointless, but like you were saying, it's like, why are you
you're missing the forest for the trees. Yeah.
It's so embarrassing how stupid people are.
Well, I think unfortunately too, there has been this emphasis put on tools, and like the problem is, like, any really good dog trainer can get it done without tools. Like,
right.
That has never been in contention. It's more about, regulation and the ability for everyday normal people to their physical leverage over really powerful dogs. But like the actual training, I don't really think anymore about like using a pinch collar or an e-collar like that deeply. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, I have this fucking 100-pound, whatever he is, like a huge shepherd livestock guardian mix for a board and train. And like, I was doing some training with him yesterday, and I'm like, oh, it would have been nice. He like, I was attempting to interrupt him, and he kind of like got a little bit of leverage on me, and I'm like, oh shit, he almost pulled me over, because I did have the e-collar, whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I like that could have been useful in that moment, but like, I still just like stepped in front of him and did what I needed to do, what I mean? But like, but like that's the important part, not the fact that the way I could have pulled him over to give him the ticket could have been a number of different ways.
Right.
But it's the giving of the ticket. Like, it is that, I use the word performance, but like, it's that sequence that matters.
Right.
but like all of the online discussions hinge around like the tool use, and it's like, but that's not sort of not what we should be talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a red herring, you know.
But
But anyway,
the part that's like super super insane and hypocritical and just like almost laughable. I know it definitely is laughable. The same people that would be like, well, I mean, we don't even have to come up with fake examples. Cabral literally said, "I'm dangerous with electric collars."
interesting. Oh, you.
Yeah, that I'm dangerous with electric collars.
I thought you meant he was bragging about him being dangerous with electric
No,
collars.
no,
I'm
no.
like,
He
wait,
said
what?
he
Okay.
said he says that I'm dangerous with electric collars.
Yes. Yep.
Who do you think could get better training results with less aversive force? It's not debatable, dude.
No contest.
It's not
Yeah.
even like everyone, including him, knows. Like he knows what he does to
He
dogs.
uses higher level aversives with fewer results. Both of
Because
those are online.
because
Yep.
there's zero clarity, zero consideration for the dog, and he tries to compensate by being a freak and smashing. But because, like you said, because I'm beating the fuck out of you while I'm smiling, it's cool. That just can't, like, there needs to be a reckoning. Like there needs to be some sort of awareness to this. But I do really, I'm grateful for the timing that Breeze and I had that super like opportune moment to like really have a personal event so that I could put it out there. Be like, yeah, guys, like look, this is really, really good. I don't even think I framed it as really, really good, but like it is. Like that's and I will say I sort part of me relishes in the fact that there are people sort of having to cringe seeing and like play along with, wow, look how sad the dog was for 4 seconds, when in the back of their heads they know that they strangle dogs for not outing a sleeve every weekend, or a dog won't sit in motion and they send them flying across the field on a prong or a choke, or they take their client's golden doodle out to heel and they have to stim him 600 times on a neighborhood walk, and they know, like they know, and they're, I think they are internally having to have this sort of like, what are we like? What's the nature? What's actually real? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it is a feature that the dog felt bad. That is literally, I'm trying to generate that event with the least amount of physical force possible by turning up the
I'm trying
social,
to elicit
personal
that
dial.
emotional response. Yes.
Correct. So that we don't have to do this anymore. I do not want to go out and in that session or in future sessions, rubber band him around the yard and smack the fucking shit out of him. I don't want to do that. If I was doing that, if I pulled up, if I was in a session and I felt 1% of that energy, the session is either over or it changes entirely at the drop of a hat. This is not dog training. This is going nowhere. This is not fair to the animal. This is not about optics. It's not about I'm against using aversives. I'm against being a fucking retard and a piece of shit to dogs. So that's the end of it. There is no working through it when you're doing that. There is no work being done. And I don't care how stoic and dispassionate you look while you're doing that. That counts for nothing. You'd actually be giving the dog a mercy if you yelled at him instead of doing what you're doing.
Yes. Yep.
So, yeah.
Make the aversive make sense to him.
Yeah. I just like, what is a balance trainer supposed to do, man? Like, what are we? Right? If a balanced trainer can't accept an effective punishment with a human aggression case, with a 2-finger muzzle tap that immediately resumes fun, free-flowing play, if that is not balanced training, I would say you are not a balanced trainer. You are not a balanced trainer. Period. End of story. And by the way, this is not to say that you have to approach that situation or anything that I do the exact same way. You could
Correct.
very well
Yeah.
be looking
Again,
at
choose
that
your own
and
adventure on the.
choose your own.
Yeah.
You could be doing something better. I would plead with you to show me something better, which is something I've said before. But this isn't saying that you have to sign off on everything any of us does.
Right.
It's just what do we stand for, right? If an effective punishment event with a muzzle tap, 2 muzzle taps, is abusive to you, you should literally never lay a single ounce of aversive force on a dog for the rest of your life, or you are a hypocrite. End of story. Like, you're just done.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
it's insane. Like it's completely fucking insane. The most light-handed balance trainer I can think of, I've literally seen muzzle swat dogs. So I don't know. I don't know.
And again, it's still funny that a muzzle swat is like the worst.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Like, is there something unique? Yeah, it's so funny.
I want to go back to you made a comment that you actually like consciously made the decision to like not stand up and give Breeze a leash pop or whatever. Like, what was the thought process with that? Like, just to make it more personal, or
yeah, I'm a really think of it like this. Like, I've actually never thought of it this way, but imagine like you're in a group of friends at a social gathering, and like maybe I'm there and I make a 9/11 joke, okay? Let's say that I make a 9/11 joke and I don't know, there's someone in the group or someone close nearby that like lost, like their dad was a firefighter and died on that day or something like that, and you're like, yo, that's really bad. The energy I am trying to bring to a punishment would be something akin to you're standing next to me and you just kind of tap me on the shoulder and you go, dude, stop right now. And then we immediately just go back to conversation. Versus something like, everyone chill, just I will deal with it. And you grab me and you pull me out of the room and do that. Like, that's, you would achieve a similar result in that way, that you've suppressed me from doing that behavior. But I think something in the trust gets changed.
interesting.
Do you know what I'm saying? I make it so that the dog, I want to make it so that the dog takes it as seriously as possible on a personal level without it feeling like this artificial sort of, do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm trying to be a dog right now in a way. Like, I'm trying to be a dog.
Yeah, that is really interesting, because there's definitely situations where I very much on purpose pull the dog out.
Yeah, me too.
And go, hey, dude,
me too.
Stop, then bring it back in.
There's a time for that too. Yeah.
Think, like, why? Yeah.
But like in this event, it's like
it's almost the level of rupture that I want to create is what dictates.
Yeah.
I present that, or how I handle that, rather.
So I guess because the bite was on me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't severe.
Yes.
And it was in the context of we're all on the ground playing.
Yes. That was more of a just like, dude, hey, what are you doing? It was like a social faux pas more than like a, hey, we need to have a fucking conversation.
So should I get a chance for him to go off on a package vehicle? I will step him out.
Yeah.
Like, I will step him out. That I'm not going to be in the snow with him. Hey, I'm going to be like, dude, because that's like potentially life or death. I don't need there to be a lot of social nuance here. You know what I mean? Like, this is just like like a broad spectrum, shut that off. I can be very formal and like principle right now. In the context of play, where we're introducing people and sort of like in this sort of like more casual state, I like try to match the punishment.
And I want to stay there. Yeah.
I've actually never thought, I don't think that I do this on purpose. I think it just like expresses that way, but I think there may be something to it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because the formula would dictate in that moment that you would like step him out and and like, that's not wrong.
Right.
But I think that it almost comes back to like the Lima thing too. It's like I can make this so like just bang bang over, lesson learned, just go. You know what I mean? And I do think that, well, I don't know. That's actually like really interesting. I'm gonna think. I'll think more about that. Like, yeah,
I mean, I think yeah, like the level of I don't know, sort of like the punishment matches the crime. So again, if it's like if it's a 9/11 joke, like my opinion, there's nothing wrong with dark humor,
right,
but
right,
there is like a hey, you need to read the audience, and that's
right,
like a hey, like I'm gonna nudge and be like, dude, you're being socially inappropriate right now, not because you're doing a thing that's like off limits completely,
right, right.
but because it was the inappropriate time and place. So Bree's being like, and like almost like a kid who's like, I don't want to share my toys and
Yeah,
having some feelings about that. It's like, hey, that's like not, it's not like a totally off limits thing, but you can't express that via aggression. Whereas like running out and biting a tire is like, hey, dude, we can never do
right.
that because you're going to get yourself killed, whatever. And it's easier to sort of like draw from what like I tried to think of something socially that's like never okay to do. It's hard with humans to come up with something. Because I want to say like, you know, if someone punched someone in the face, but there are times that that's okay. So whatever.
Right.
Um, but like if it's something that's just like so out of the box, like, hey, that's something that we never do. That would be okay. Like this is
Taking
probably the
your
best
pants
example.
off at the grocery store or something.
I was just gonna say, yeah, something like that.
Like there's no
Exposure
like
is
there's just no
probably
way.
the
Yeah.
best example. Yeah, like that would be immediately like, dude, what the fuck are you
Right.
doing?
You would
And
make
that
a
would be enough
production
to
about
like
that.
break the
You
yeah,
would,
yep,
yeah, yeah.
yep, yeah. That would require like a yeah, a bigger intervention.
So can I make a really
Yeah,
quick
go ahead.
interjection? One of the hilarious unholy spawns of the whole hand correction thing. People are like this guy's asking to get his finger bit off. It's like, how many times do you think I've ever had a board and train quote unquote redirect on me
Yeah,
when I punish them?
zero, zero.
Zero,
Yep,
zero.
yep,
Um,
yep.
and I'm talking like serious dogs, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yep,
so it's
yep.
it's kind of what you said about the form of the aversive in some ways being so pointless and people getting stuck on it. It's about contingency. If I went up to Breeze, if we had no trust or little trust, I was dispassionate, distant, food delivery, backwards prong collar pop man. And I went up to him and I started doing this for no fucking reason. Yeah, he would take my hand off and I would deserve it, by the way. But that doesn't happen because I know how to train dogs. Anyways, I think that it's a punishment fits the crime type thing, but instead of the
And it's almost too
intensity,
simplistic. Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah, yeah,
instead of the intensity or instead of the emotions, it's like the tone of it. How how much of it is a production? I don't know how to say it, but there's
yeah. No,
something.
I know.
I think that there's something incredibly special that can happen if you can just in in the same situation be like, dude, like, and then okay, and then just immediately go
Yeah.
back. When
Like
it
this
can
the
happen.
social emotional level is the most important, and like that's the bottom line. It like everything else is very secondary. So
Yeah.
like being able to uh being able to create the shift that you want to in that moment, like that's what actually matters rather than the intensity.
Yeah. But I will say this. I will say this. Watching it back, a pratfall to be wary of, okay?
Yeah.
I moved very quickly from unwanted behavior, punishment, reconcile. Like we went through really fast right back into play. because I knew for a verifiable fact, like I know this dog. I know this dog as well. Like it's just, we get really tight. I knew he got it, right? But you have to be careful not to rush back in if a dog's giving you this, like, yeah, like if I didn't, so if I got a Cabrolian response where I'm swatting and popping and tapping and popping and the dog is I would not go back into fucking play because he didn't get the message. I'm not being clear. I need to see that, like, that thing that everyone is horrified of, which is the dog understanding what just happened.
Yep.
I need to have that happen, and I need to have an idea, because every dog's different in this way. I need to have an idea of how long I want that dog to stay in that state. Because for some, like for Remy, who's asleep on her little chair right now, I think I had mentioned it in a previous episode. I caught myself going through it way too fast and letting her basically get out without truly having to absorb what happened. And I don't know if this is an
way
IQ
too happy
thing.
of a dog.
Right. Yeah, that's what I wonder. I'm like, is she just kind of retarded, or is she just too naturally?
No, I think her baseline is just so like that, like
yeah.
dipping down. Like the dip has to be a little bit more dramatic because the baseline is like so high. Whereas a dog like Breeze, like he's a little more like
right.
Runs a little bit more on that side of like anxious, depressed sort of naturally.
So it's easier to tap it. It's easier to tap that. Like he knows what it is to
and
feel
you
this.
don't want to keep him there too long because otherwise it's like overwhelming for him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just, dude, like you guys see that he starts playing again, right?
Yeah.
Like you guys see that. So like I don't so that's why I stayed like right in the it was so good. It was so good. I'm like, I watched it back and I was like, man, that was fucking sick. And I love being able to do it so physically light. Like I do, as much as I don't talk about that because it is so gay. Or it's used
again, like the bastardized version of balance training is that this weird vibe of like, we'll go as hard as we need to in order to get the result. And it's like, but do you have to? Like,
and you're not even getting the result. Yeah. And you're
correct. Yes. But like, it reminds me of the same sort of like, such the like bite sport archetype of like, oh, my dog's a real dog because he like, I can do all the, like, I can correct him on 100 and he doesn't even fucking stop. And it's like, that's not a flex.
That's not good, dude. Yeah, that's not good. Why did you do that to your dog? Why did you do that?
Yeah, like,
that's awful.
It's that kind of vibe. Like, that is in the balance trainer community.
Oh, dude,
and they think they're the same. And it's like, you're not the same as me. Like, I do hope your dog bites you. Like, I hope your dog figures out that the way to turn off this pressure is to come back up at the line and eat you. And hopefully you learn your lesson from that. Probably not, but anyway.
I've had people say, and like with the nose tapping thing, I've had multiple people say, I dare you to try this with my dog. Okay.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Okay. The problem is that if your dog spent 1 week with me, he would never want to go back to you.
Correct.
But yeah, for sure. I would totally... it's an odd request.
Yeah, if you fucking slap my dog on the muzzle for no goddamn reason, he'll bite you. Yeah,
right.
Of course.
Right.
But like, I can cuff my dog under the chin when he's being a little shit and go like, dude, what are you doing? I told you to stop humping this puppy. For bullshit.
Trust
like,
authority. Trust authority.
Like, fuck,
condition punisher, clear contingency, emotional recovery.
Yep.
Why?
Yep.
Why are we? It's ridiculous. But yeah, Dylan is a cancer, and he's dangerous. So crazy. But the thing is specific to Breeze, because I want to get into the play biting thing. The reason why the posts were so fucking cool to me wasn't just how awesome, like how nicely and naturally the punishment flowed. And how clear it was. But it's also what biting I'm punishing and what biting I'm deliberately reinforcing. And I want to get to that too, because it's super fucking cool. Because you can see in one context the on the nose was aversive. And then in another context,
It's fun. Yep.
someone called it Snappies and Clappies. Like
Yeah.
we're fighting. Like we're sparring.
Yep.
I'm grabbing
Yep.
his feet, he looks away, and then
Yep.
and then he's
Yep.
getting a full
Gotcha.
bite on my hand, and I'm holding his muzzle, we're rolling on the ground, and like that, the clarity is so cool to me. And being able to show him that on the back end, it's not as simple as you putting your mouth on a person, because that's part of who you are. It's part of being a cattle dog. If you like to express that, there was a really good comment from a guy named Anthony. Shout out, Anthony, if you're listening, where he talked about the natural communication and interaction and play with like a cattle dog being able to mouth on people and play bite. And it made me think of how many of these aggression cases are deprived of that because people wholesale cut off the idea of you interacting in that way, because you just can't have your mouth anywhere near a human being because you're just going to kill. What we can do is by allowing and enjoying the play biting, I've been saying, cut the narrowest slice, where we can say it's not about you putting your mouth on the human, it's about the intentions behind the act. Right? So I can be very clear. He is play biting me way fucking harder than when he snapped at me, telling me, don't get, like, we shouldn't do this. I don't want to play like that. But I punished the weaker bite because of the intention. The intention was him being a punk. Right? That is not okay. When we go to spar and I cue it, you don't have to, like, I cue it, you want to play. And then, you know, all done means that we settle. And you can see me flip that on and off too, which is also super fucking cool. Again, this video, like when you go back and you watch it, there's so much shit going on. I'm not saying it's all perfect, but it's just so fucking cool if you know what you're looking at. But we can be so fucking specific, dude. Like, I don't need to deprive you of this natural cattle dog thing. You know what I'm saying? And
I'd even argue natural dog thing. And
natural
people,
dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also, there is, last thing, and I want you to be able to go off because I just kind of rant. I've been waiting to talk about this because it's so fucking cool.
It's good. Yeah, yeah. No, I love it.
You're certified now, so you're given more airtime. You're permitted more airtime. I also think, and this kind of goes to the muzzle swat too, I think there's something to be said for the trust and the honesty that with an aggression case, there is a time and a place to make it so that they know I cannot win no matter what. I can't even reach that guy. I've either got a muzzle on. I mean, I don't use muzzles, but like you could use a back tie, whatever. I think that there's a time and place for that too. But at a certain point in training, the way that I prefer to do it, and this is like borderline suicidal, I'm not saying everyone go out there and do this type of thing. This is just how I think of it. I think there's something to that, the dog knowing, he knows I could double down and go off on him right now. And he's still here with me like a dog, like honestly like a dog. He's basically meeting me man to man right now, and he's not, there's no assistance of like I'm standing above you and looking down and like, no, it's like, dude, we're right here, and you still have to defer to me, and I'm not afraid of you, right? I'm being honest with you right now. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it's kind of like you hit a certain age and you're like, I think I could beat dad now. Like, I think I could probably beat dad's ass. But it just doesn't, it never even crosses your mind because of that mutual just like understanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Lucky you.
Like but he's, hey, dad's within punching range, right? But there's not even, that doesn't even exist. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even a fucking thought. That's kind of like what I like to generate when I'm being really personal about that and expressive. Like, I'm right there with the dog. You know what I mean? And again, like there are considerations with safety with dogs. If you need to move quicker and there's not the trust and there's not that understanding, if a dog has been crucified by guys like Robert Cabral, that when they feel aversives, they start going neurotic and gnashing and going nuts. Utilizing a step away with a double line allows you to show that clarity and be like, dude, no, I'm actually removing your opportunity to even try to hit me. So this is a total waste of time. But when I can avoid that, like at the stage that Breeze is at, like I'm right there.
Yeah, yeah. This isn't day one. This
Right.
is
No fucking
established.
shot.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no, 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 no,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
That is a disaster waiting to fucking happen. And you won't have to wait long.
yeah.
You will not have to wait long. Like it's gonna happen right then. Um,
Yep.
so there is something elemental to that I think acknowledgement of this dude truly is not scared of me. And it's not in a
Yeah.
personal neener way. It's he loves me. Like he knows, like he's
Yep. Yep. I trust us to communicate well in this moment, even though it's difficult.
right. And I think like even like I put up a video of me working Breeze jumping into my arms. Like this is a dog that's bitten faces before. I think it's sort of a similar thing where it's like I'm showing you, dude, like my arteries right here. You know what I mean? Like my face is right here. And you're right here, dude. And I'm like, I'm giving you kisses and shit. Like I want to show you that reciprocal, like I'm rewarding that trust you're giving me. I'm trusting you too. You know, and I think that there's something to that.
No, unfortunately, physical touch has been sort of removed from human society, but I think it's deeply, deeply powerful. And I think it's actually a very sort of like primal. There's a lot of levers to pull on that level that we've just kind of lost touch with. But yeah, like I think physical touch is deeply powerful, and our sort of habit as a human society is like, I mean, even therapy, right? It's like it's talking, right? Like there's not this idea of like therapists sort of aren't supposed to give you a hug.
Right.
Which, like, I get it. Like, there's reason for it. I'm not saying that that's always wrong.
So
but, like,
I could
there's
see, you can see
nuance
some,
when
that's different
it
because
actually
some
would be the
creepy
most
shit could happen.
effective.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
But like, but again, it's like if the therapeutic relationship is actually what we say it is, there shouldn't be creepy shit happening. And again,
Right.
like I understand why we have to blanket statement a lot of human societal stuff, but like,
Dogs are different.
and like that, but unfortunately, yeah, like we've been programmed as like, oh, a kid's having a really hard time. A teacher can't come over and give him a hug because he
Yeah.
had a really bad day at home. You know what I mean? Like, and that's this kind of brutal that,
Yeah.
that we've had to remove that because of bad apples. Again, I totally understand why it happens. There should be boundaries, but again, nuanced discussion. But unfortunately, that's sort of been the habit now. Is like even when we approach dogs, we sort of don't think about physical touch as an option to communicate because we're such a verbal species and have been like pushed to be even more verbal, excuse me, in modern society. But like, you miss a lot of that nuance then. There's this entire spectrum that dogs are so good at showing us if we actually listen, but people are afraid to connect in that way. Like play is actually a great example, right?
Yes.
Is like,
Yep.
open up, wrestle on the ground with the dog, like fucking let the dirt, you know, like,
Yeah.
get your hands dirty, let them fucking
Dude, so
get their spit on you, you know, whatever, right? Like be physical with the dogs in a really, I don't know, just that let go of this like fake bubble that we've put around ourselves of like, oh, that's inappropriate. Like I'm an adult human now and I'm not supposed to do that. And it's like, what? Why? Like we're supposed to play into adulthood. We're supposed to interact in this way. And it is actually better for both of us. Anyway, I got way off track there, but
well, no, what does Ivan say in the course? It's like it always comes back to the dogs recognizing us as a fellow being and
yeah.
us doing the same to them.
Yeah.
And it sounds sort of like a talking point, but then when you really consider it, it's like, no, that really is what all of this is
like
in
we have
service of trying,
co-evolved.
right? And we're trying
Yeah.
to honor that, and we're trying to develop that and nurture that, and the physical element. Like I do, and this is just my personal, the way that I do things, but like there's a reason why you see so much footage and so many pictures of me on the ground with dogs. It's not some protocol. it just to me feels like I can meet you down here and we can chill. You know what I mean? Like I want them to see that I'm not like I'm with you. You know, we're in this way we are the same. While still maintaining the superiority and the obedience and the compliance and the authority and all of that. But on that base level, it's like, no, we acknowledge each other as living, thinking things. And that should be the launching point for any of this training.
Yes. Yeah.
There was a really interesting discussion, and we can't go into it too deeply because you need to go to the school to get this shit. But you graduated the day after a really interesting class call. But you have access to the archive. You have access to the archive, which is really really useful. Like you can go back once you graduate, you can listen to all the calls forever, which is so fucking cool. But this topic came up about a trainer that was struggling with this really gnarly shutdown case, some sort of like Shiba thing, which is already, you know, great start. But something that came up that, like Ivan, the way he put it, it was so interesting. Because the trainer was like, yeah, I've had the dog now for, I think she's had him for like 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. And there is just not, the dog no longer fears for his safety, but they basically are just roommates. And they've been stuck as roommates. And the way that Ivan put it was that you two have found a way to coexist. Like that's as far as your agreement has gone. It's like we're not trying to hurt each other, and we just kind of pass each other in the hallway and oh, good morning. And like that's the end of that engagement. And the point that he made was that this dog's owners have probably lived like with him forever, and they just couldn't get beyond that sticking point. And that is an insurmountable challenge for a formulaic, and that's not this girl. She just has never dealt with a dog like this before. She's a really, really fucking good dog trainer. She's just never seen anything like this. Not many of us have seen anything like this. The dog's really bad. But that's an insurmountable challenge for someone that is just like formulaic. At least I wasn't mad. Like that dog would be better off seeing some disapproval from you emotionally than seeing nothing at all.
Yes.
Or like a phoned in passive happy. Like the dog wants to see you be a fucking guy, like be somebody, like to
real.
Me. Yeah. Something to me. And like in that way where it gets great, and I don't want to give away too much. Again, you should go to the school. It's so fucking sick. But in that way, it's like this dog, it also has like an aggression streak. He will use his teeth to be like, fuck off. And this is something that I feel like I've done more of over time. That like there's a time and place to do a total no sell where it's just like you eat it and you don't react and all of that. There's also a time and place be like, yo, dude, why? Why are you doing that, man? Stop. Like, that's fucking annoying, dude. Like to give some sort of feedback on an emotional level that the dog can now begin to recognize you as something beyond this automaton that just like takes me potty and fills my food bowl. Like there is someone
there's a
in
time
there.
to show a dog that they can't affect your behavior, and there's a time to show a dog actually, in fact, you can affect my behavior deeply.
Yes.
And it's a two-way street.
Oh, that's so interesting. So this actually connects to Breeze. So watching the footage back, there was something I was like, I wish I had done this. And this is spoilers. You guys, if you're not on the Patreon, you're getting some freebies right now, bitch. All right. I'm pissed. But you're getting some freebies because I'm going to have a section at the end once I'm done putting the pieces. It's like a 40-minute session. I'm going to put it all together. There was some really good play that happened. Really cool. But there are 3 things that I want to do differently for the next time or add on. But one of the things that I want to do at some point, we have a couple no sells where it's like, you know, the person doesn't react. I want to see how Breeze responds. If he goes over and on the glove and then, yo, dude, fuck, get out of here. What are you doing? I want to see how he reacts. I want to see, does something click in his mind where he's like, no, that is a person. Like they have something to them aside from herpa derpa man walk through door. It's like, no, there's a personality behind the flesh
Yeah.
and the
Yep.
movement and all of these types of things, that they can have opinions on what I do to them. You know,
Mhm.
that is
Mhm.
so fucking cool. Like, I want to see what, I have a feeling with him, he's going to be extremely responsive to that. And that will be a strategy back home where, like, say you're doing some crash tests at the very beginning and you have people walk in just wearing, workers gloves. If he bites, you can have someone be like, dude, Breeze, we were just outside playing. Why'd you do that? Stop. And then if there's a repeated instance, the owner steps in and goes hard. Like,
Yes.
yo, like, stop. You know what I mean? Just interesting. Very interesting. But that idea that
Yeah.
you said, like, there are times where it's crucial to let him know that doesn't do anything. And there are
Mhm.
other times
Like
to let him know
Ollie.
this. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Like he's scared, he's panicking, he's trying to make shit happen. And it's like, hey, dude, we're all just calm. Like,
Right,
we're good here. Bomb is not exploding the way you think it
right,
is. And then there's times where the dog is like, usually it's the fucking herders, right? But cattle dogs is like, I want to push you around. I want to make some, but it's like, yeah, the thing that's going to happen is to be like, dude, fucking stop.
right, right.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like the energy has to sort of match. Otherwise it doesn't make sense to the dog. Like if the dog is already fucking spun out of control, adding more energy to that is not really going to be helpful. But if the dog is sort of just like testing and poking, it's like, yeah, we can add something here to be like, dude, fucking knock it off. This is just against the rules or inappropriate or whatever it is. But yeah.
And if say that the dog does get spooked by this stranger refuting the aggression, you would ideally have the trusted figure there, like me, right?
Correct.
Like,
To
in this instance,
intervene. Yep.
so yeah, like if he needs to come run to me, and I'm like, hey, it's like, I go over to the person and I go, yo, like, it's cool, like, we're not, it's okay. It's just he's telling you the shit that I also have told you before.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, she's putting her foot down now, and it's okay. Like, it's not, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think
help them
Breeze.
generalize that.
I don't think Breeze is afraid, though. I don't think that there's anything
No.
about him that's.
No.
Um,
I don't think so.
he's just a
Yeah.
cattle dog. He's just an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But dude, one of the comments. Just quick side note. One of the comments.
Yeah.
Big most like highest IQ Cabral fan. I don't get why people think Dylan's such a good dog trainer. He literally only trains healers, and they're the easiest dogs to train. So, Kim, what do I do? What can, like,
Nothing.
how can that, well, just like, how could that idea form in a person's head?
I know.
Genuinely.
I know.
Like,
People think that high drive dogs are easy because people show Malinois doing cool shit.
But it's I mean,
yeah.
that's one angle. It's that the cattle dogs are terrible, and by the way, by the time I get them, they're usually fucked up for years. But I don't, like, I train any dog. What?
Right, well, that's the thing too. I was gonna say otherwise you
insane.
just send them the video of Ada and Ollie and
But the
whatever.
the thing is, and this is just like a persuasion thing that sucks. As soon as you start explaining things or refuting things, you look like you're defending yourself. You can never look like you're playing defense.
You
Unfortunately.
acknowledge that the premise is worth arguing.
Right. It's like I'm validating it. So I just, like, I have to just let all of these
By
guys
engaging in that debate. Yeah. Yeah.
unless it's like a constructive, easy W, like a big time person talking shit that I know is awful, like I can crush them. But like, how do you? He only trains heal. It's like, I don't even know how to help you. Man. But yeah, Breeze doing really well. Gonna line up to have 2 people come by hopefully Friday. Super interesting stuff. Like, we had the best outdoor play session when we had the stranger here.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a coincidence. I think he was, like, alerted and alive, and, like, he probably doesn't even understand why, but he was like, he played really hard for like 5 minutes. It was really awesome. Yeah, really cool. He's doing good. Remy is moving on soon. in like a couple weeks.
Before we move
couple
on
weeks.
to Remy, do you want to go back to like close the loop on biting, like bite, or maybe we kind of did, but like bite inhibition and the intentions behind the bite?
Yeah.
I guess we did kind of close the loop on
So,
that.
so well, I think that there's a little bit more that I want to
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
want
feel
to
like we
go on
kind of got
to,
sidetracked on
because
it, but
play biting can be an absolutely brutal and vicious unwanted behavior. It can be such an unwanted behavior it literally gets dogs rehomed. Like it can get dogs put down. Play biting is not just a like net positive, always 100% yes, all the time in every way. All bets are off. Oh, it's just part of his expression. Like there are some.
there's an appropriate time and an inappropriate time.
Yeah. So it sort of hinges on, well, everything hinges on punishment, but like authority generally. But you can also dictate. It's like when you talk about like gear shifting while in drive, how that you can go from like extremely intense to moderately intense to extremely intense to totally calm to moderately intense, and like you can sort of move around in there. You can very easily, and dude, dogs know how to do this intuitively. When you see dogs, the way that like Remy plays with me versus how she plays with my children is totally indistinguishable, completely and utterly indistinguishable. And the way that dogs interact with each other, dog to dog, they know each other's play styles and how hard they should go and how soft, and like when to back off and when to reinitiate and all those types of things. You can really cultivate that with a dog like Breeze, who has been, I would say, at least moderately unhinged for a long time. Within the play, the biting, being able to on cue tell him all done, which is the cue that I've used. And if you go back again, like if you watch the videos, there's just more shit becomes apparent. When I tell him all done, he goes from this
Recess is over
to he'll roll over on his back and he gives me his belly. Or like typically what he does is like I'll be on my knees, he'll dive bomb his nose like between my legs and start rolling on me because he knows it's time to chill and get a massage.
Yep.
And then
My favorite is being able to like hand fight with a dog. Like the what did you say that commenter said it was the like whatever, right? But like
Snappies and Clappies, yeah.
Snap and clack. Yes.
Can that be the name of the
Yeah, where
episode?
it's
Snappies and Clappies.
Okay. But like where you're, it's like the dog is like, okay, I'm defending your hand from like touching the top of my head, whatever the game is. And then going from like we're playing that game and then all right, we're done. And now I can pet you without like anything changing.
Mm-hmm.
But the dog completely understand, like now I'm petting you. And then it goes, okay. And then like play again and then all done, pet, and like nothing changes except for that verbal cue. Like that is just
Clarity, because
and they can absolutely understand that. Yep.
should I had pet Breeze's belly before telling him all done, he would have been still
He's
defending,
absolutely yes.
which is totally cool,
Correct.
right? So being able to put that on pause, and especially like using that if he's starting to get a little bit too ramped, can do it chill. But also, I think that there's something to like setting the tone yourself and how hard you're playing. So there's a natural
absolutely.
back and forth, right? So like,
I mean, this is how dogs figure it out with each other, right?
Uh-huh.
Is like a dog goes too hard, the other dog's like, whoa, I don't want to play with you anymore, yelps or whatever it is. And the other dog is like, oh shit, in order to keep playing in the sandbox, I have to play at this level and be nice. And then another dog who's like, let's fucking tackle each other as hard as we can. And then they just go nuts, right? Like that is exactly how the learning happens. And we can absolutely just like mimic that and do that with dogs as well. But
yeah, and it's fucking awesome. And it totally, if people could just see it, destroys like everything everyone believes. Like it just wrecks. Like if you do that, he's gonna be afraid of that. And like if you it's a fault, it's oh my god. That's why I paired those two clips together. Hey guys, like you want to tell me he's going to now be afraid of hands, but you can't because of the next part.
Correct.
It's
And he
just
can
so
interpret your touch. Like, that's what I was trying to get at as physical touch is like, we can use physical touch in such a wide spectrum of ways, but people get really stuck on like, oh, but you're like physical touch meant one thing in this one instance,
Oh
and
my God.
therefore it's going to be stuck in his, you know what I mean? But it's like, why is the dog not afraid of the collar then either? Or you
Right.
holding a leash
Holding a
because you
leash.
wind your
Yep.
hand up to pop? Like
Yep.
it's the same.
Yep.
It's it should be the same signal that is create like that picture looks close enough that if we're extrapolating that idea of like the dog will be hand shy if you tap him on the muzzle, if you extrapolate that to like, oh, if a collar pop is actually aversive to a dog, every time he sees your hand move in like that way,
He should flinch
he should be scared. Correct.
every
Correct. But he's
single
not.
time. Yep.
Yes. Yes. But he's not. And like even collar pressure, like especially in sports, we can use collar pressure to both stop and start. And it's completely based on the cue that's given in front of that and teaching the dog like this is the response that I want you to have. But like if a dog just has a flat response to like, oh, I feel collar pressure and my only response is to dig, the training that I'm immediately going to do is how do we change that and how do we
Mm-hmm.
widen your perception and
Right.
teach you that this is a, I don't know, it's not just a single lever that we can layer this with other things and teach you to respond in a more cognitive manner instead of just like, oh, I feel this pinch collar and now I need to go into aggression or whatever it is. It's like, no, also the pinch collar can teach you to fight harder and prey
Mm-hmm.
or to fight harder into the down or whatever, you know, it, like again gets into a little bit of sports stuff, but like that's where it gets really, really freaking cool is that I can create what looks like the exact same picture. Like I was just working a drill with one of my club members yesterday where it's like, the dog is given the cue to bark and I, like hold the toy out as he's barking and most dogs go toy like the good dogs will go toy and then want to fixate on that because they're like oh shit I want to bite it now and then we could go hey you're meant to be guarding, give a little bit of pressure into the guarding with the picture that looks like a prey bite. We can put them in aggression because we've trained that, right? So it's like my like analogy for pet people when I'm working with this stuff is Simon Says, right? Like the dog needs to actually be listening to the cue. He shouldn't just be reacting to what he thinks are the like nothing else tells him the truth except for me saying guard or me saying, like not in pet context, right? But like me telling you you're meant to be chasing or you're meant to be guarding or you're meant to be in obedience. And like again, this is very sports stuff, but like you can move in this triangle from control to aggression to prey to aggression to prey to control to prey to you know what I mean, like that and shifting that. But I can use the exact same tools to promote the dog into any of those behaviors and emotions and state of mind like that. That starts to get really, really cool. But like a lot of dogs get stuck on, I feel the e-collar and that means recall, or I feel the flat collar and that means pull, or you know whatever it is. But like people get sort of, they accidentally glue themselves into the tool becoming a cue for a certain behavior, and that's the least best use of the tool. I forgot how I even got on this
Well,
tangent.
can I try to make it? Can I try to make it? Because a lot of that is above
Yeah.
my pay grade. Can I try to make it make sense to myself? Like if I put it, you tell me if this
Yes.
is like in the same
The
vein.
listeners.
To
Yeah.
Breeze, he is agnostic to the face smack,
Mhm. Yeah,
and that was
Yeah.
sort of the point of the video.
that's accurate. Yes.
In
Yes.
one context, it was a hard break. In the
Yes.
other one, it's gas.
Yes.
All based
Yep,
off of
exactly.
me, like being able
Correct.
to know
Correct.
no versus want to play.
Yep. And what
In
we're
context and stuff.
building is a dog, yes, is a dog who can take social cues and respond to them appropriately because that's where he has previously been failing in his home. Like that is the whole point
Right.
with these behavioral rehab cases.
You would think that it shouldn't be that hard to figure some of this stuff out. One thing that I'll just keep doing, because I still, as upset as I get I still am like delusionally optimistic. Maybe I do think that showing dogs ultimately is like
No,
a winning
I
case.
don't
Like
disagree.
I'll just continue to show, and like what's going to happen with Breeze.
Yeah.
Everyone knows
Yep.
what's going to happen with Breeze. And I'll just keep showing it. It's like I don't care, and then I'll go on to the next dog, and just at some point, yeah. It's just, oh my god, it's so bad, dude. It's so bad.
You know. Anyway, let's talk about Remy.
Yeah, I mean,
You wanted to talk
there's
about.
nothing super interesting. There's just a huge mistake that I made. So
Okay.
I guess that is interesting. It's like nothing too big, except I really regret something.
Sure.
She is very much in a oh, my phone's plugged in. I can't turn it. She's asleep on her chair. She's very much been in a maintenance mode for like a month now. We haven't been training. Like we'll go out, I would say we probably average like 0.7 trips a week, like going out into public. And the weather, it's been like -2 Fahrenheit. Like it's been
Yeah.
fucking raw. And I know I keep saying that every week. Like I don't know, but I've been taking her out. You'll get a Saturday where it's like, oh, they're doing a deal at the groomer, and I know there's going to be people coming in and out of dogs with at like 2 p.m. or something, and I'll go with her there for a half hour and do some stuff, and then go over to Home Depot and play really hard, do obedience. But for the most part, she's been in maintenance where she's just like been my dog, and like, what do my dogs get? Well, when the weather is like this, they don't really get much. Like
Yeah.
we'll play indoors a little bit. I've taught Scout the funny jump into my arm
Yeah.
command with play and all that. But there's something I realized that there's just no excuse for me having not done more of. And I started doing it out of the feeling of maintenance where I'm like, I'm not applying that. Like I'm not touching on Remy's unhinged mindset. I'm not like I can't I want to keep her feeling strong and confident and clear. So on sessions where I was maybe playing with Breeze or I was playing with Scout or if I was running around with my lab or something like that, I would have Remy in a crate, which this is not like a novel thing. Like people do this. It never occurred to me how fucking awesome this is because I started by having her in a crate like point blank, which you would think is the hardest thing. But for her, it's actually being out of sight, hearing that there are other dogs right there doing stuff and I can't get to them, that FOMO thing. But dude, I was stunned at how quickly I got her just to fall asleep while Scout and I are in the living room playing breakneck, beating the dog shit out of each other. And it wasn't a gimme. Like I did have to get on her with the e-collar maybe like 3 or 4 times, but it like it worked like extremely well. And then when I did end up taking her out to PetSmart a few days ago, she did fantastic. And I would have expected it to be like I was kind of expecting to have
A
some struggles.
backslide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is something that you can just do. I'm kind of thinking that for any behavioral case dog, I mean, maybe even just like general obedience board and trains, putting them in that position where it's like, yeah, like you're going to be crated and you can't be freaking out, agitated that there's a dog playing right there. It's very specific to Remy, and I'm sure you can change it. I know people do back ties and things like that. It's just that, I
mean, that happens somewhat naturally. Like now that you say that, I actually do that, not even really on purpose, but it happens somewhat naturally with just like the setup of my facility. Is that I have like some kennels up front and then like the main training area, but like it's all sort of like open concept, like visual. Like if I have a dog in a kennel, they can absolutely see that I'm playing with the other dog and hear it and whatever. And like pretty quickly, I'm like, hey, you can't be losing your mind. Mostly because it's fucking overstimulating to me.
right,
Just like
right.
can't
It's
deal
yeah,
with it.
yeah.
But like I address it pretty quickly. I don't know. I can't think of any particular dogs where it's like been a huge issue or like affected anything outside of that, but it probably does. I just don't really think that deeply
Yeah,
about it because
I
it's just
think
sort of a habit of mine. But
it may accidentally be really beneficial.
yeah,
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, especially for Remy's particular flavor of psychosis,
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
like crazy FOMO thing, I just feel stupid because I could have been doing this even a 10-minute round a day. And I wonder how much that would have compounded, when she was ready for it. I feel kind of dumb. It's like in the twilight hour, I realized this thing is just sitting. This requires no effort from me. It's like I bring a crate out to the living room and it's just like, you know, um, and like I did touch on it a little bit when I would like down her and play with Scout, but I abandoned it because I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's not really useful anymore. It's like, well, why not?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like I should have just kept doing it because it kept us in a really clear state while we basically have been doing no training. You know, really cool. So that's something when she goes to the foster, Marissa, who's a really good dog trainer, I'm going to recommend that. Like I'm going to recommend that when you're training your board and trains and stuff, just put her up and have her either be in there or even sometimes around the corner and just don't let her tweak. You know, should be simple. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Was there anything else? Well, we did the K Weeks ceremony. You celebrated graduating by getting drunk and playing RuneScape, is what you told me, which is cool,
Yep.
which is pretty lit.
Yep.
I know you get uncomfortable about this type of thing, so we're not going to linger on it. But it was cool to see people gassed up
Yep.
for you.
It was. No, it was nice because I honestly wasn't super excited for myself.
Yeah.
Like, probably not super healthy. I should probably work on that. But it was kind of fun seeing like, oh, okay, like it is actually exciting because like other people got excited and like that was a little bit contagious. So that was nice. But
Yeah.
it's fun.
We'll have to pick an event to meet up at school.
Yeah. It's like kind of wild still having not met you in person. I feel like it's gonna like shatter the glass when we do. It's gonna be super weird.
I get people, you know what I hear a lot is that people think I'm short until they meet me in person.
Yeah, you've told me that before. Yeah.
I've gotten that multiple times. People are like, I thought maybe not short, but they like I thought you were gonna be like 5'9".
Right.
But I mean, I'm never like I'm always just with dogs for the most part. Sometimes clients and stuff. I think I got all of my dogtism out of my. Like, I just want to reiterate too. If you want to see any of the dumb drama stuff, Doggy Stoic, right?
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned, that chapter is closed. The general mission statement is not even that's not closed. But like that personal just like blip in the radar retarded thing is over.
Yeah. Well, because it's not even personal. Do you know what I mean? Like I think like I don't know how to say it. It's just an archetype. Like it's just an archetype that's constantly coming up and like it just happens to be a certain face and a certain name, but like it doesn't really
Well,
change anything.
I would say that calling for the wholesale destruction of my career and calling me cancerous is personal a little bit.
Yes.
But when it comes to
from the standpoint of like the mission,
the implications to the overall
Yes.
training world is very impersonal. Like this is just the type of people that we've allowed to rise. Like on a personal level, like he's just
like
a piece
these
of
are the
shit.
gatekeepers, you guys. Like
Right.
these are the
This
gatekeepers.
is the quality.
They are defending Denise Fezzi. Jesus fucking Christ. They're defending Denise Fenzi, Michael Stracascio, Susan Garrett, like all of the people that want to ban tools
And that hate you.
and or be on their moral high ground of not using tools. These are the people that are telling us how to train dogs and
Yes.
who's correct and who's not correct and trying to use cancel culture to control that. Like,
Yeah. Literally
is that
trying.
who you want to be the gatekeeper?
Right. And like it could be, it doesn't have to be me, but like imagine just like thinking about it logically. You've got someone who's at least doing interesting things with dogs that hasn't been doing this for that long, that's like really passionate about it. And if he had it the way that he wanted in his delusional mind, I would be erased.
Correct.
He would rather me be bagging groceries somewhere. He would rather people be
Yes.
deprived than dogs be deprived of my contribution.
And again, you are just an archetype. Like that's what I'm
Right.
trying to get at. Like
Right. It's
it's not you
methodological in that sense.
specifically.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just imagine any, like, an old guard mindset, gatekeeper, I'm beyond questioning. But when you look behind the curtain, there's zero substance. It's all ego, it's all bullshit, and it just stifles the free flow of information. That's literally all this is, the Cabral factor. Like, he's just a piece of shit. There's certainly a personal level, but the implications to the broader community are much more important.
Yeah, as nameless and faceless. Yeah.
Right. But
yeah.
they are, like, so many of them are like that, dude. So many of them are like
Correct.
that.
Correct. Yeah.
And
yeah.
I would call into
Yeah.
question, I would call into question the integrity of people that know this and continue to support and interact and promote people that are doing that actively. I think that's extremely hypocritical. Even people that I like, it's like they know they're wrong. They know they're wrong.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of...
this is what I've been trying to say on previous podcasts too, and it is like this archetype of balanced trainer that is totally willing to fucking yank dogs like whiplash style. It's totally okay with doing that to dogs, like as long as it's something around their neck, it's okay. But as soon as you do anything that's like tapping the dog on the fucking nose or raising your whatever it is, right?
Anything
yeah,
social or
punishment
emotional.
of any kind. Yes, anything in that spectrum, they immediately condemn, and it's just like that's the brand of balanced trainer that actually gives balanced training a bad name. Like,
Yeah.
I still am not saying it the way I want to say it, but like I've said before in previous podcasts, like you get upset about the force-free community, and like obviously like legitimate, but like I've seen more of that style of balanced training in my career and experience in dogs, and like that is actually almost more upsetting to me because it's like they act like they're on your side,
Right.
you know, and it's like, but we're not the same, and I don't think people can see that easily because the surface level looks the same, but it's like the ideology. Again, it's not about the tools, but like it gets made about the tools, but like I could not disagree more with certain sects of the balanced community.
You have nothing in common with them. You have virtually nothing in common
like
with
there's
them.
nothing that I agree on.
The people, and these aren't like nameless, faceless people. They're the ones that are like in charge, that supposedly represent all of us. And we actually just have we see eye to eye on zero, like less than zero.
Yeah.
Like that's just
like I fundamentally disagree with how they view dogs.
Correct.
That's like there are people closer to the middle that use less aversives, that whatever, that fundamentally agree with how I view dogs, and those people look optically closer to force-free because they're more centrist, but are actually more in alignment with what I think because of their fundamental belief system. And like the optics of balanced trainers who use e-collars look the same as me using e-collars to teach off-leash freedom or whatever, right? But I could not disagree more with those types of balanced trainers that are just like this blank slate or like blank face, not interacting with the dog, not acknowledging what a dog actually is, not working with the full like emotional social system of the dog. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. Like that's what's frustrating to me. Like this losing the forest for the trees, and people getting stuck on tools, and it's like
they can't keep getting away with it.
Yeah, like there's this third thing that isn't balanced and force free, but like it's just the way that you relate to dogs. And there's people that like there's good dog training and bad dog training, and like that's it. Like
But
that's the only metric that matters.
I take a little issue with that. I don't think it's possible to be
Yeah.
force free and do what you're describing.
Well, correct. Then it's just
I
bad
think
dog
it's
training. That's what I mean, though. Like,
so, but
there's only
balance
good.
training.
Yeah.
I think, and this is kind of, it's balance training is the way. I
Well,
think that
yes. Yes.
there are people that have a totally twisted and perverted idea of what balance training is.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And this isn't a no true Scotsman thing, because you can literally just go out and find really good balance trainers. You can't find really good force free trainers that are connecting with dogs in the way that you're explaining. It's literally impossible. They cannot, because they can't get authority over dogs. They're missing like literally half the equation.
Correct.
But
Correct. Yeah. They don't think about that. Yeah.
It is possible to wear the costume of balance training and treat dogs like absolute shit.
Yes. Yes, and like that almost is more upsetting to me, because it's like
it's a
you're
perversion.
saying that you're the same thing as me, and it's
yeah, and like in the case of a guy like Cabral, like he is totally straight faced. Like, no, this guy makes balance training look bad. That is insanity, abject fucking insanity, like crazy, dude.
Yep.
Like what?
Yep.
Oh my god. And I don't think that they actually, I don't think that these people believe themselves. I genuinely do believe, like you've talked about, like that sense of like the old guard. I think that they're just afraid. I think that they see the sun is setting, and they know they're obsolete, and it's just, I've got to cling to whatever. You know what would be a really interesting thing for these types of people to do is go out and train dogs and be good at it. That'd be an interesting way to stay relevant. You don't see them doing that though. Unless it's just like normal people that are training dogs, like, and not posting on the internet, like that's totally valid and totally cool. But like in the case of these like these people that think that they have like the delusions of grandeur, like I'm important, that type of thing. You don't see these guys going out and like getting better at training dogs and like honing their craft and showing the way. No, they're just pieces of shit, slop content creators talking shit. So yeah, I mean, I'll see you guys next time for the next career-ending event.
Should be fun.
But it's maybe next time, everybody, you'll get me. We'll see. But yeah, there are so many dogs to be trained. A lot of cool shit going on. A lot of cool things coming. For next time, I'll have more. There's going to be a second socialization with Breeze, and I'm going to have 2 people.
Yeah.
And I'll let you guys know. I'm going to try to record as much of that as I can, and I'll let you guys know what happens. I think I had mentioned that South Korean dog was coming sooner. Now he's coming later again, because the trainer from South Korea objected and was like, no, I want to be there with Dylan and the dog. And I was like, I'm the same way. I love that grind set. He was like, no, I want to see. But unfortunately for him, I don't think he's going to be thrilled at how little we do, because the dog is like afraid for his life around people. So like I can show him how, I'll set up maybe 2 or 3 different crates throughout the house in different spots, but it's going to be the dog hiding in the back of his crate.
Yeah.
So it's it's not going to be like super cool shit.
Yeah.
It would be funny to shoot a series. It's like Dylan and Korean Philip are banging around town for a week. I've got to go do an in-home. Did I talk about the Pyrenees on the last episode? I said that there was a lady.
You said you'd never.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she doesn't
never
care.
Call you back.
She doesn't care. She's never going to get back. 2 hours after we cut last time, she texted me, Dylan, we want to line up a call. We're really locked in. I was like, wow, okay.
Amazing.
So I am going to drive out. They're a little over an hour from me. I'm going to go do like an in-home eval type thing.
Okay.
They think I'm purely evaluating the dog, but I'm also just getting a feel of if they're normal people. But a lot of it is seeing the dog at home, because they have problems around the house dynamics and things like that. But he'll be here when the Korean dude is here, Korean Philip. And it'll be funny to torture him and try to get him to play with a Pyrenees. I think that would be a funny, how do you call it? Hazing ritual. Welcome to hell. If I can get this dog to play, like, And I'm like, I'm gonna go so hard. I'm gonna try so hard. The idea of a 180-pound dog chasing a ball for some reason is really funny to me. So here's Riri.
Aw.
Here's Harrison. Here's Breeze. He was asleep. He's doing good.
Oh my gosh.
And there's Scouty. What else? Yep.
Yeah, I
Well,
think that's about it.
go out and muzzle tap some dogs, guys. And have a good day. We'll catch you next time.
Yep. Talk to you guys later.
Peace out.